grab your umbrella and grab a seat as well. Welcome to Auburn's 54th Annual Veterans Parade and Observance. We wish our active military the best salute on our Veterans Day. I'm Lee Stoll with Como 4. I'm going to serve as your parade MC. I'm joined by Theron Zahn. This is our 4th year emceeing this special parade. We're honored to be back. So far we haven't messed up, I guess, since we get to keep coming back. Yeah. Well, we're in for a real treat this morning to kick off this year's parade. Fingers crossed the weather cooperates enough for us to get a very good look at the King County Sheriff's Department UH-1 Huey helicopter flying over us. I actually might hear it right now. But
you can't miss that distinctive sound of a Huey as it gets ready to fly right up Main Street. That's an impressive sight. Sure is hard to follow that. The City of Auburn has been honoring our veterans since 1965. This year, our 54th anniversary of this parade, we will pay special tribute to the American Legion. And they are, as you will see, well represented today. You'll see members of this organization at the front of the parade, followed by their selected Grand Marshal, Bob Clark. The City of Auburn is pleased to be a commemorative partner of the United States America Vietnam War Commemoration. We're honored also to pay tribute to the service, valor, and sacrifice of those who've served in the Vietnam War. We'd like to introduce Dayla Walker to sing the national anthem. Please stand if you are able and remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, doesn't that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
oh my gosh, thank you, Dayla. That is a voice and a half. Okay, now we wanted to take a moment to introduce you to the parade judges, a group of volunteers from Cardinal Health right here in Auburn who are veterans themselves, judging today's parade. Jeff McKenzie, Chief Master Sergeant, United States Air Force, retired. David Bokar, Captain, United States Army, retired. And Mike Marsh, Corporal, United States Army.
Now you can see just down the street, the parade is coming this way. The City of Auburn is truly honored to be hosting the 54th annual parade this year. Over the years, Auburn's Veterans Parade has become the largest parade of its kind west of the Mississippi, and quite possibly the largest in the United States of America. Today's parade consists of 200 entries. Nearly 6,000 people are going to be coming down the street here for you to look at, and 25 marching bands. And we're pleased to have you in attendance today, and I think you're in for a real treat. What you're seeing right now is the Auburn Police Traffic Unit kicking off the 54th Annual Veterans Parade. Members of the Auburn Police Department's Traffic Division Motor Unit. These officers consider it an honor and privilege to lead the parade in recognition of the commitment and sacrifices made by our veterans. Also walking down the street, here comes the City of Auburn Mayor, Nancy Backus. Let's say hello. Mayor Backus was elected to her first term as mayor in 2014. It is the first female to hold the office in Auburn. Mayor Backus is accompanied by her daughter, Lucky. They both like to thank you for coming to Auburn today to help us honor our veterans and celebrate our 54th anniversary of this great parade.
And coming through now, the Doughboy Color Guard, a color guard organized in 1969 to honor the veterans of World War I. Their members are outfitted with authentic World War I uniforms and equipment and are veterans of Vietnam, Bosnia, and Afghanistan. The team members range in age from 35 to 80 years old. And here comes another American Legion entry, the American Legion Riders, also known as the Patriot Guard Riders. As a reminder, the 54th annual parade is paying special tribute to the American Legion, which is why you'll see a variety of American Legion posts and hear from them at the front of today's parade.
These are the American Legion Riders. They wanted you to know that. And it is an honor to introduce our 2019 Grand Marshal, Mr. Bob Clark, who is representing the American Legion. The 54th annual parade is paying special tribute to the American Legion, a veteran service organization chartered by Congress in 1919. That's 100 years ago. And celebrating their centennial this year, 2019. You'll see the American Legion entries marching or riding at the front of the parade today. Bob enlisted in the U.S. Army in February of 1990 and attended basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. He was honorably discharged in February of 1998 at JBLM. He worked with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in Iraq from November 2003 through December of 2005. He currently works at JBLM as a supervisor for public works. Bob is accompanied by his wife, Darylyn Harrison Clark. The City of Auburn is honored to have Mr. Clark serving as the 2019 Parade Grand Marshal. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Clark. And right there you're seeing the American Legion Department of Washington representing their state dignitaries. Within this entry are the state adjunct Jessie Horton and her husband Scott, the American Legion Auxiliary State President Lorna Ladushuk, and the past National Auxiliary President Mary Davis and her husband, the American Legion National Executive Committeeman Dale Davis, are also represented. Also within the entry is the American Legion Department of Washington Sons of the American Legion Detachment, Commander Roger Howden and his wife Becca, an active member of the American Legion Riders. The Sons of the American Legion National Executive Committeeman Bob Bondurant and his wife, past Auxiliary State President Laura. And big thanks to, and we have a special service, Girls Post 204, which includes 2 World War II veterans, twins, Irene Barley, who is not with us today because she's ill, and Jean Litter. It's a big thanks to all of you and your service and your participation today. Happy Centennial to the American Legion.
You're sounding great. And now please welcome the American Legion Auburn Post 78. The American Legion Auburn Post 78 is led by their color guard made up of wartime veterans of the U.S. military services. The the American Legion is the largest wartime veteran service organization. Auburn Post 78 Post is very involved with today's events by offering the public breakfast and coordinating the remembrance ceremony. So a big thank you to American Legion Auburn Post 78. And please welcome members from the American Legion Post 15 from Kent. Kent American Legion members participate in doing last military honors at Tahoma National Cemetery and other cemeteries when asked by families of veterans who have passed away. So thank you, Kent.
You're looking at the 2nd Battalion, 357th Infantry Regiment Color Guard of the 189th Combined Arms Training Brigade. They're carrying the National Army and state colors. The colors are guarded by 2 soldiers carrying M14 rifles. Ladies and gentlemen, your 189th U.S. Army Color Guard. Now take a listen to America's 1st Corps Band. They're representing the United States Army from Joint Base Lewis McChord. 1st Corps Band is commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 2 Roberts Bruins and 1st Sergeant Shelby Barber. Drum Major is Sergeant Tucker Day.
Joined by the American Legion Gig Harbor Post 236. This post and all American Legion posts continue to fight for veterans' rights, protection of the American flag, supporting our active duty members and their families, as well as supporting the communities that we live in. Coming up now, another member of the American Legion's 11th District, the Fred Hancock Post 19 from Renton. The post is named after Fred Hancock, a U.S. Navy sailor who was the first resident of Renton to become a casualty in World War I. The post is led by their commander, Patty Hurst Reist. So thank you, Fred Hancock, Post 19 of Renton.
It's now time to welcome first-time parade participants, the Albert J. Hamilton Post 7 of the American Legion of Bellingham. The post is represented by post members riding in their 35-year-old Army cargo truck named Albert. Thank you for joining us, Post 7. Also, another first-time participant is the American Legion Edward B. Rhodes, Post number 2 out of Tacoma. Thank you for being here, and of course, thank you for your service. Here come members of the American Legion Post 100 of Lacey, Tumwater. Post 100 has 272 members. Their cannon is being, it's a big hit in parades and events over 50 years. Thank you for sharing it with us here today. That is an impressive cannon. Quite the firepower there.
Okay, I get to introduce anything with the Navy. The last, but certainly not least, American Legion entry, the American Legion Post 94 from Lacey, Washington. Once again, congrats to the American Legion celebrating their centennial year. This is quite the song. Anchors away!
Also, we saw American Legion District number 1, which includes several posts within the Seattle area, along with Vashon Island. District 1 concentrates its efforts in mentoring youth and sponsorship of wholesome programs in the city of Seattle. Thank you, District 1. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the 2nd Battalion, 357th Infantry Regiment of the 189th Combined Arms Training Brigade from JBLM. The 189th Combined Arms Training Brigade is a training support unit, part of the United States Army. The 189th has active service and National Guard units across the United States. The 189th Arms Training Brigade, outstanding. And representing the United States Army is Staff Sergeant Bobby Wilkins of the 189th Combined Arms Training Brigade, 358 Field Artillery at Joint Base Lewis McChord. This soldier is a recipient of the Purple Heart. He is accompanied by his wife Lisa and 3 sons, Daniel, Cole, and Jacob. Thank you so much, Staff Sergeant Wilkins.
And here comes Lieutenant Colonel Mark DeSantis, the Deputy Commander of Seattle District, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The more than 800 employees in the Seattle District provide military and civic public works services as well as support for other agencies. The district also plays a key role in environmental protection and improvement. Lieutenant Colonel DeSantis is joined by his wife Erin and children Keegan and Beckett. So thanks, Lieutenant Colonel DeSantis and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, for your service.
I'm going to step out of the way now. Lee wants to talk about this.
Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander Navy Region Northwest Rear Admiral Scott Gray, proud to present the Navy Region Northwest Marching Band. Navy Band Northwest serves the nation as a musical ambassador across 11 states in Western Canada. They appear today under the direction of Lieutenant Chris Cornett and Drum Major Chief Musician Chris Edelman. I don't want to talk over them. Anchors away! Representing the United States Navy is the Chief of Staff of Navy Region Northwest, Captain Alan Schrader. He's a graduate of the United States Naval Academy and the University of Colorado. He served numerous submarine and staff and shore assignments within the United States Navy, including Commanding Officer of Naval Base Kitsap. Hey, I went to Central Kitsap. He assumed his current role of Chief of Staff, Navy Region Northwest in August. Thank you, Captain Schrader and the United States Navy. Representing the United States Air Force is Colonel Aaron Sasson, the commander of the 62nd Maintenance Group at Joint Base Lewis McChord. Colonel Sasson ensures the readiness of more than 1,400 active duty military and civilian personnel. The 62nd Maintenance Group partners with the 446th to maintain service and load 41 assigned C-17 Globemaster III aircraft in support of worldwide combat and humanitarian airlift and airdrop operations. And please help me welcome the U.S. Coast Guard, 13th District Auxiliary Honor Guard. This unit travels the Pacific Northwest to support and augment the active duty Coast Guard at celebrations, civic events, and military funeral honors.
And representing more than 8,000 members of the Washington National Guard is Lieutenant Colonel Kristen Durda, commander of the Washington Army National Guard Recruiting and Retention Battalion. She is joined today by her family, husband Kristen, and children Dominic, Emilia, and Max. When disaster happens, your Washington National Guard is always ready and is always there to help safeguard the lives and property right here in Washington. If you're interested in learning more about the Washington National Guard, go to www.nationalguard.com. You're listening to the Auburn High School Parade Band Hometown. Please welcome the band to welcome the host band for today's marching band competition. They always sound so much better than me talking. I always want to listen in. They're going to be hosting the band competition later on. 7 hours of marching bands this afternoon. Tickets are still available. Up next is Cesar Romero, who's been working for the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs since 2007. He is currently the Assistant Director for the Seattle VA Regional Office. Cesar served in the Marine Corps from 1999 to 2006 and served 3 tours in Iraq. His passion is serving our nation's heroes and their dependents and providing them with information on how to obtain and access benefits. Thank you so much for being here. Representing the Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs is a Director, Alfie Alvarado Ramos, as she is joined by Liza Narceos and Renee Morales. The Washington DVA helps connect veterans and their families to the benefits and services they have earned through their military service. We encourage you to check out their website. Learn more at www.dva.wa.gov. The Veterans Affairs Advisory Committee awarded Gary Condra with the 2019 Outstanding Service to Veterans Superior Service Award. Gary Condra is being recognized for his superior leadership and devotion to veterans and their families through his service as the Deputy Director of your Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs. In addition to serving as your Deputy Director, Gary previously served the agency as an Associate Superintendent of the Washington Soldiers Home, Agency Chief Financial Officer, and currently oversees Veterans Home Operations. He's accompanied by his wife Becky, and congratulations on the award, Gary. Here comes another award winner, Ms. Randy Turner, the VAC Award. Randy Turner with the outstanding 2019 Outstanding Service to Veterans Superior Award. Since joining the Lakewood Veterans Court team in 2015, Randy has been instrumental in getting the Lakewood Veterans Court to where it is today. Many of their successes have only happened through her solid guidance and follow-through. She's done so much to help the many veterans who have a second chance to start a fresh life. Congratulations, Randy. And let's say hello to Alan Acosta. The committee awarded Alan with the 2019 Outstanding Service to Veterans Distinguished Award. Alan is being recognized for his outstanding volunteer service to veterans and their families by assisting veterans without homes to get off the streets. Partnering with several veterans nonprofit organizations, he spends countless hours assisting veterans with finding employment and housing that often results in a successful transition from the streets back into society. Alan is accompanied by his wife Christina and daughter Tsunami. Great work, Alan. Congratulations on all your hard work. In front of us now is Christopher Carver. The VAC awarded Christopher Carver the 2019 Outstanding Service to Veterans Distinguished Award. Christopher Carver has gone above and beyond in helping veterans and their families in Spokane County. Chris is a full-time trauma therapist at Providence Medical Center in Spokane and is also a full-time student pursuing a master's in health administration. Chris facilitates a peer support group assisting veterans who seek treatment for a variety of issues. Thank you so much.
And here comes a representative for the Tahoma National Cemetery. The VAC award the Tahoma National Cemetery with the 2019 Outstanding Service to Veterans Team Award. The Tahoma National Cemetery is the only national cemetery in the state of Washington. Team Tahoma provides a final resting place for over 3,300 Washington veterans and their eligible family members every year. For fiscal year 17 and 18, Team Tahoma has been the recipient of the National Cemetery Administration's Customer Satisfaction Award. They are one of only 19 national cemeteries to receive this award. Congratulations. Here they come. You are now looking at the Auburn Riverside High School Marching Band. Welcome, Ravens. The band, directed by Megan Wagner and represents the award-winning Auburn Riverside Band program. The Auburn Riverside High School Marching Band, honored to participate today. Coming up next, representing the Spokane County Regional Veteran Services Center, who were awarded the VAAC's Outstanding Service to Veterans 2019 Team Award. The office has connected Eastern Washington veterans to nearly $2.5 million in VA disability compensation and pension benefits. Connecting veterans to their benefits enables them to have access to health care and provides long-term income to support those veterans with the greatest needs. So representing this team, Eric Blackburn and his guest Rhea Ross, and Marvin Tucker and his wife Patricia. Outstanding work, guys. And coming up now, the VAAC awarded Senator Hans Zeger with the 2019 Outstanding Service to Veterans Legislator of the Year Award. He serves as an officer in the Washington Air National Guard and is a strong supporter of and a co-signer of legislation related to veterans' health in higher education, modifying veterans' residency requirements to ensure GI Bill payments, and multiple bills supporting your Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs.
Let's welcome members of the Veterans Affairs Committee. The VAC is a 17-member committee appointed by the governor. The committee operates with the motto, "No Veterans Forgotten," and serves as an advisory capacity to the governor and the director of the Washington Department of Veterans Affairs on matters pertaining to the veterans and their families in Washington State. Represented today are Bob Wallace, his wife Eva, Michelle Love, John Sims, Joe Jimenez. Great group. Thank you all for all you do for veterans. And please say a big welcome to members of the Women's Veterans Advisory Committee. The committee advises the director and the deputy director of the Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs about the issues and needs of women veterans and makes recommendations on how to improve services. The committee also puts a yearly summit together for women veterans and does outreach. Represented today are Mary Sidwell, Carol Stipling, Monique Brown. Great job to all of you. Up next, a very special guest, World War II veteran, retired Colonel George Westlake of the United States Army. Colonel George Westlake was born 100 years ago in Kansas City. His family moved to Seattle after George graduated from high school at age 17. That was 1936. In 1941, George received a summons to serve his country. In 1943, after completing Officers Candidate School and Officers Cavalry School, he boarded a ship to England where he remained in preparation for the D-Day invasion. 5th Corps boarded their ships off the English coast. When they woke up the next morning, they were off the coast of Normandy at Omaha Beach. After the war, Colonel Westlake signed on with the reserves, making a career in the Army. He's joined today by some of his family members. Colonel George Westlake, we salute you today and thank you. Thank you for your service.
And a warm welcome to the Disabled American Veterans Ken Chapter 33. Ken Post 33 has over 900 members and also has a vibrant ladies auxiliary unit. Their primary fundraiser is the sale of the forget-me-not flowers to raise money for veteran services. So thank you for being here today. No need to worry about those feathers in this weather. The next band, the Granite Falls High School Marching Band from Granite Falls, Washington. The band is in their first year of marching competition. Their director, Skylar Williams. Drum majors are Michaela Greenlee and Kayla Arciniega. So great job, Granite Falls. You're looking good.
I think we're about to hear from them, but I have to say they have epic hats. Sounding great. And let's welcome the Governor John R. Rogers High School Army Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps from Puyallup. The cadets are led by Instructor CW3 retired Michael Murray and Sergeant First Class retired Roland Sidney, commanded by Cadet Major Dwayne O'Brien and Cadet Command Sergeant Major Erica Gonzalez. This highly decorated junior ROTC unit has supported Auburn's Veterans Day Parade for the past 20 years, and you haven't aged a bit. It's amazing.
Up next is John Russ, the State Commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars Department of Washington. The Veterans of Foreign Wars, commonly known as the VFW. John is a veteran of the United States Coast Guard. He is accompanied today by his wife, Sandy. Also accompanying John is the Senior Vice President of the VFW Auxiliary, Marjorie Stetson. And the VFW Department of Washington, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, is a nonprofit organization with over 26,000 members statewide. Their mission to foster camaraderie among United States veterans of foreign conflicts, to serve our veterans, the military, and our communities, and to advocate on behalf of all veterans. And coming up now, Auburn's Veterans of Foreign Wars, White River Valley Post 1741. VFW Post 1741 celebrating its 90th birthday this year. And you're right, they don't age at all. The Post was founded in 1929, making it Auburn's oldest active veteran association. In addition to being awarded all-state recognition, this post has also been awarded an All-American Post in 2018 and 2019 as well. By the way, they are hosting an open house for veterans and their families today, 1 to 5 p.m. at their A Street Northeast location. Coming up now, the Puyallup Valley VFW Post 2224 and their auxiliary Post 2224 is an all-American post. Great job, veterans. Thank you for your service. Please welcome the VFW from Sumner Bonnie Lake. Post 3070 has been active in serving veterans and with the general community affairs in the Sumner Bonnie Lake community since 1943. The post supports the USO, Soldiers Home Ordering, and the local food bank, and organized jointly with JBLM the Memorial Day service at the Sumner Cemetery. And coming up now, time to say hello to the Veterans of Foreign Wars Kent Meridian, Post 6785. I have some fans here. This is an all-American team from Kent who are especially proud of their honor guard, which supports the Tahoma National Cemetery.
And they've got some moves. Now you're going to hear just in a moment from joining us now, East Side Catholic Crusader Marching Band from Sammamish under the direction of John Boyson. The Crusader Marching Band would like to thank all current and former military personnel for their service, and they're going to give us something to listen to here in a second. You're looking at VFW Post 969 from Tacoma. This is the largest VFW post in the state. No one supports veterans more than the veterans of foreign wars. Thank you, veterans. And thank you to our fallen heroes. And there's a hug. All good parades have at least 86 hugs. I just saw a kiss too. 2 kisses. Our next entry is the VFW Wild West Post 91, also from Tacoma. They're pretty wild.
I get to introduce the cars because Theron wants to go look at them. Here we see the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 9079 coming up right now and looking pretty sharp. Yeah, let us hear it. There you go. I'm glad they don't need to top up today. Yeah. Coming up next, the VFW from Enumclaw Post 1949, established in the 1930s. Post 1949's mission is to help veterans in their community. One of the programs supported by the post is Boating for Heroes, an organization that offers free trips to help our nation's veterans from all branches of the U.S. military. Veterans can unwind using the therapeutic qualities of fishing, pleasure boating, and working together on a boat. These boats are wheelchair accessible and have setups for extreme needs for fishing and pleasure boating. Best of all, the trips provided free for the veterans and their families. They had over 1,000 veterans participate just last year. And active duty too. We'll always take notes. Coming up now, and I know we're going to hear them, All-State Post 7392 from Oak Harbor. Their motto, honor the dead by helping the living.
Representing the Marine Corps League, Department of Washington is a state commandant, Bonnie Holden. The Marine Corps League was founded in 1923 and was provided a federal charter in 1937. The Department of Washington was founded near Seattle about 65 years ago and has grown to 16 active detachments statewide. Bonnie is accompanied by the department's junior vice commander, George Hilbish, and Sky Busk, the commandant of the Olympia detachment. Here they come. There you go. Can't miss that song. Here's the Enumclaw High School Marching Band under the direction of Benjamin Barker with assistance from Cheryl Reichberg, Nate Hunt, James Hayes, and Eric Parker. Savannah Milkison is the drum major. Drum captain is Cole Stritzerds, and wind captains are David Lenton and Khalees Burton. The band consists of middle and high school students from Enumclaw. Just makes you want to march. Representing the American Veterans, or AMVETS, is the Washington State Commander Dwayne Herman of Spokane. Mr. Herman is joined by Robert Bacon, the Department of Washington Western Commander. Thank you, Dwayne. And Robert, for joining us today. Let's say hello to AMVETS post number 1. You're looking at the largest AMVETS post in the state with a membership of over 2,200. AMVETS provides not only support for veterans and active military in procuring their earned entitlements, but also community services that enhance the quality of life for the nation's citizens. Thank you so much, AMVETS. And I think we're about to see and hear from the AMVETS Riders Chapter 1 from Tacoma, formed in 2017. They are veterans riding for veterans. This is their 3rd year participating in the parade. Thank you so much for being here. Our next entry is representing the American GI Forum, which was founded in March 26 of 1948. It's the only congressionally chartered Hispanic veterans organization with over 40 chapters nationwide. The American GI Forum proudly honors its 63 Hispanic Medal of Honor recipients.
And now, representing the Military Order of the Purple Heart is Robert Oliveras. Robert is currently the Region 3 Commander, which covers 8 states. Robert served in the United States Marine Corps as a sergeant. The Military Order of the Purple Heart is a congressionally recognized veteran service organization for combat wounded veterans. Membership is comprised of military men and women who receive the Purple Heart Medal for wounds suffered in combat or by an act of international terrorism. So a special thanks to Robert for joining us today and representing this organization. He's accompanied by his daughters, Juliet and Kaylin. And coming up together, time to say hello to the Paralyzed Veterans of America, a congressionally chartered veteran service organization founded in 1946. These are veterans of the United States Armed Forces who have experienced spinal cord injury or dysfunction. The organization has developed expertise on a wide variety of issues involving the special needs of their members. And also Scout Troop 401 of Auburn, one of the oldest troops in Washington State, which has provided a scouting program and has served Auburn since 1923. Troop 401 cleans soldiers' graves and posts flags for the Memorial Day ceremony, among other community contributions. The troop has provided assistance to the Northwest chapter of the Paralyzed Veterans of America in this parade for many years and helps with the dignitaries. Troop 401 would like to say thank you to our veterans. And you hear them coming. Here they are. We have 25 bands today, by the way. The Astoria High School Marching Band. They're coming to us all the way from Astoria, Oregon, so let them hear it. Next up, representing the Gold Star Wives of America is Mae Veazey. The Gold Star Wives of America was first organized in 1943 and became a congressionally recognized veteran service organization on December 4th of 1980. The Gold Star Wives is a veteran service organization that provides assistance and friendship to those who have lost their spouse to a military-related cause of death. May is president of the Tacoma chapter of the Gold Star Wives. She is accompanied by chapter members Marissa Algera, son Benjamin, and Maureen Foley. So thank you, ladies, for joining us. And let's say hello to Jim DeMott, the District Commander of the United States Submarine Veterans Incorporated. The purpose of the U.S. Sub-Vets is to perpetuate the memory of their shipmates who gave their lives in pursuit of their duties while serving their country. In the Pacific Northwest, there are over 650 men and women who are members of the U.S. Submarine Veterans Incorporated. The membership ranges between World War II veterans to active duty sailors with 6 bases or chapters in Washington and Oregon. Commander DeMott, thank you for joining us today. Here they come! Please help me welcome the United States Submarine Veterans Incorporated Float 1, the submarine veterans of World War II and the Bremerton base of the Sub-Vets Incorporated. Float 1 is a representation of a World War II submarine conning tower with periscopes and guns built by the Sub-Vets of World War II. Float 2, carrying the Seattle base of Sub-Vets. Float 2 is a representation of a Sturgeon-class attack submarine. Following the 2 floats is the Submarine Veterans Motorcycle Club. We'll certainly hear from them. Thank you to the United States Submarine Veterans, and this is the moment to say it. Go Navy, beat Army!
Whoa, whoa, hey.
I'm sorry, I'm a Navy kid.
Oh my goodness.
I know, I'm sorry. Okay, so my dad was a Navy captain. Whenever I asked, how deep can a submarine go, I would get deep enough. How fast can a submarine go? Fast enough. That's all I know.
It's all top secret. Up next is our Washington Fallen Heroes banner, an entry that always tugs at the heartstrings. Folks, please rise and show your respect to the American Gold Star mothers and their family and friends that carry the Washington Fallen Hero banners today. A Gold Star mother is a mother who has lost a child while serving in the armed forces. These banners represent a small percentage of those that gave the ultimate sacrifice that called Washington home. Gold Star mothers are dressed in white. Thank you to our fallen heroes, and never will our American heroes be forgotten. Representing the Vietnam Veterans of America is David Wagoneer. He is a Vietnam veteran and served as a member on the King County Advisory Board for 11 years. David is a member of the Puget Sound Honor Flight Board of Directors since 2013 and currently committee member of the Veterans Seniors and Human Services Levy Association Board. He's accompanied by Roberta Wagoneer. Thank you for your service. And here comes Vietnam Veterans of America, Jim Hidden Memorial Chapter 102 out of Seattle. VVA Chapter 102 aggressively advocates for veterans and their families, particularly in King County. They also seek full access to quality health care for veterans and hold government agencies accountable for following laws mandating veterans' health care. Walking with the VVA today are women veterans. The City of Auburn is proud to be a Vietnam War Commemorative Partner. And please stand and help us thank our Vietnam veterans. The Enlisted Association, or TRIO, was established in 1963 and chartered in 1992. The mission is to enhance the quality of life for uniformed enlisted personnel, their families, and survivors, including active duty, veterans, reserve, and guard components, and all retirees to stop the erosion of earned benefits. TRIO has chapters throughout the United States and Puerto Rico. And you can hear them coming. Auburn Mountain View High School Roar of the Lions Mountain Marching Band, located up on Lee Hill here in Auburn. This is their 14th year of parade performances. The band is under the direction of Derek Pyle, and I think we're going to hear a little song. Representing the Fleet Reserves Association is Marvin Johnson, a past national president of the Fleet Reserve Association. He's joined the United States Navy in September of 1954 and retired after completing 20-plus years of active service. He's a Korean-era veteran and Vietnam War veteran who served 3 cruises and 3 different aircraft carriers. He's joined today by his wife, Jan. Thank you for joining us, and of course, thank you so much for your service. Oh, Jan was sick. Well, thank you so much for being here. Hope she feels better. And please welcome members of the Fleet Reserve Association. You're looking at the Mount Rainier Branch 104 from Puyallup and Seattle Branch 18. The Fleet Reserve Association is a congressionally chartered, nonprofit organization consisting of retired, active duty, and veterans of the Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard. Thank you, veterans, for all you've done. Here comes the Auburn Mountain View Army High School's Junior ROTC unit. The team is a combination of all Auburn high schools, and it's its 6th year. Thank you so much, cadets. Looking sharp. Rolling up now is Mr. Jerry Jackson of the Military Officers Association of America. He's a member of the Mount Rainier chapter in DuPont. This is one of 10 chapters within the state of Washington with 350,000 members nationwide advocating for veterans. He's accompanied today by his wife Penny. Thank you, Mr. Jackson, and the Military Officers Association of America. Here are the men of the Combat Infantrymen's Association. To earn the honor of wearing the Combat Infantrymen's badge, a soldier must be a military-trained infantryman by trade, plus he must have served as an infantryman in combat. Here today are local members of Division 5 of the association, commanded by Jake Robinson. Thank you so much. Now heading our way, not just a train. Welcome the Graham Kapowsin High School Army Junior ROTC Eagle Battalion from Graham, Washington. This is their 13th year participating in Auburn's Veterans Day Parade and two-time winner of the Best Military Unit. The Junior ROTC program motivates young people to be better citizens and commits to give back to the community. Thank you, award-winning Graham Kapowsin.
And now please welcome from Spokane, Washington, the University High School Marching Band and Fanfare Ensemble. Hope you had a good trip across the pass. Please welcome them all the way from Spokane.
Leah's trying to get me to play Name That Tune with these marching bands.
I gave up if it's a song after 1990.
Or wasn't sung by George Strait.
Up next now, the Vietnam Helicopter Pilots Association. This is a national association of former military helicopter pilots who flew combat missions in Vietnam between 1961 and 1975. Missions included troop lift, medevac, resupply of ground forces, search and rescue, aero scout, gunship and combat support. Over 9,000 helicopter pilots and air crewmen lost their lives in the Vietnam War. Aircraft flown include the UH-1 Huey, the CH-47 Chinook, and several other types of aircraft. Today, atop a flatbed trailer, you are looking at a UH-1H Huey helicopter fuselage This piece of equipment owned by the Olympia Flight Museum located at Olympia Municipal Airport. Yep. And here comes the U.S. Army Special Forces, also known as the Green Berets or the Silent Professionals. I'm marrying a retired one. The Special Forces Association Chapter 16 is a fraternity of retired and active duty Green Berets. Don't mess with these folks. Okay, for the Green Berets, I will say it, go Army beat Navy. Can I come back now? Can I walk around after the parade?
I won't have to walk you to your car now. You're looking at the 1st Cavalry Division Association, comprised of veterans who have served in the 1st Cavalry Division, including retired, active, and former members. And that's a slick-looking truck, I just have to say. That is sharp. Next, please welcome the Washington State POW MIA Color Guard, joined by Rogers High School Color Guard from Puyallup, who speak for those who cannot speak for themselves and remind us we will never forget. Coming up next is the Intertribal Warrior Society. It's a non-sectarian, non-political, fraternal, and social organization of former military service personnel of Indian descent. Warriors from tribes of all across parts of Indian country in the U.S. And Canada are among the Society's general membership. The Society is a federally organized veteran service association. The Society Honor Guard performs military funeral honors for any eligible veteran's family and is a member of Tahoma National Cemetery Support Group. Here comes the folks who represent the 101st Airborne Division and 75th Ranger Regiment, organizations who have been in constant combat since 9/11. This unit represents all members, past and present, of these organizations. Here comes some pretty impressive hats again. Please welcome the North Mason High School Bulldog Marching Band and Color Guard. The band is under the direction of Mr. Chris Drury. North Mason is proud to be part of today's festivities. We'd like to thank the parade coordinators in the City of Auburn for hosting this great event. The band would also like to thank our veterans and active military personnel.
Coming up now, the Kentwood Marine Corps Junior ROTC Armed Drill Exhibition Team in color guard. It's been over 20 years since this group has participated in Auburn's Veteran Parade, so welcome back. The unit, under the direction of Chief Warrant Officer to John Shaner, U.S. Marine Corps, retired. And now the Lao Veterans Organization, soldiers of the Royalist Lao government that supported the United States war effort in Vietnam until May 1975 and served in the CIA and Special Forces during the 30-year secret war in Laos during the Vietnam War conflict. And you can hear them coming right now. The Scottish American Military Society, founded in 1981, chartered a nonprofit veterans organization welcoming any veteran of the U.S. and UK. Didn't want to talk over them. Welcoming any veteran of the U.S. and UK Commonwealth forces that has an interest in Scottish-Irish history and their commitment to the military past and present. And now, looking very nice, please help me welcome Chapter 16 of the 173rd Airborne Brigade Association with veterans who have served in Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan. And here they come!
In case you were wondering, that was the Marines Motorcycle Club. It's a national veterans club composed of Marines and Fleet Marine Force corpsmen who served honorably as well as active duty Marines.
This is More My Speed, representing the Northwest Chapter of the United States Army's Warrant Officers Association. Chief Warrant Officer retired Stan Pauley. Stan is a combat veteran of Vietnam and Desert Storm. Warrant officers are highly specialized technical experts and single-track specialty officers who receive their authority from the Secretary of the Army upon their initial appointment. Upon promotion to Chief Warrant Officer, these warrants are commissioned and are direct representatives of the President of the United States. And up now, veterans of the Republic of Vietnam. These veterans fought side by side with the United States and other allies against the communists in the Vietnam War. And please welcome the United States Sea Cadet Corps Hornet Division, based out of Joint Base Lewis McChord. The Hornet Division, the oldest and longest continuous service unit in the Corps, chartered in 1958. And some more fancy hats for you. The winning Eisenhower Cadet Marching Band from Yakima. The band is under the direction of David Walter. The band appreciates the hospitality of Auburn in hosting this parade and thanking veterans for their service to their country. to say hello to Auburn's Deputy Mayor, Bill Pelosa. Deputy Mayor Pelosa began on the Auburn City Council in January of 2004. He is a veteran of the United States Navy. He's accompanied by his wife, Joyce. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Pelosa, for being here today. Time to say hello to Auburn City Council member Bob Baggett. He began his first term January 1st of 2016 and just got re-elected for a second term. Bob also happens to be the current president of the Auburn Noon Lions Club, they provide a great deal of support for this parade. He's accompanied by his wife, Patty. Thank you, Councilmember Baggett. And now Auburn City Council member Claude DeCourcy, who began his term on the Auburn City Council in January of 2014. He has a master's degree in public administration with a specialization in government from Seattle University. And up next, Auburn City Council member John Holman, who began his service on the Auburn City Council in January of 2012. He has served as an international police liaison officer in Baghdad, Iraq from 2004 to 2005. There, his task was to assist the chief of the Baghdad Province Police in establishing a modern administration for a 26,000 member force. John, accompanied today by David Hines. And coming up now, Auburn City Council member Yolanda Trout-Manuel, who began her first term on the Auburn City Council in January 2014. She is accompanied by her husband, Ron.
You know, it's interesting. We all enjoy a good parade, but you know who also enjoys good parades? Dogs. Some dogs enjoy. There's a brown dog over here I've been watching as everyone goes by, the bands, and I'm just watching the dog's reaction to the flying batons and the music, and now the dog's going to take a little bit of a rest. We're not done yet. We're only about halfway done, dog.
Before they get too close, let me introduce the next band, the Hoquiam High School Marching Band under the direction of Susan Peters. Drum majors are Sage Chesterman and Caitlin Stevens. The 69-member ensemble performs annually throughout the Pacific Northwest and beyond.
Up next is Ray Vafik, president of the Auburn School Board. Mr. Vafik has extensive years of experience as volunteering in support of Auburn schools. Mr. Vafik and his family have lived in Auburn since 1985. His son and grandson are graduates of Auburn schools. 2 more of his grandchildren attend Auburn schools as well. He's accompanied today by some of his family members. Thank you very much, Mr. Vafik. And let's say hello to Peter B. Lewis, who's representing the Auburn Noon Lions as this year's first vice president. He's also former mayor of our great city. The Auburn Noon Lions Club provides much support for this event and has so since the event's inception way back in 1965. In addition to providing a donation toward the luncheon, the club members are wonderful volunteers who are driving our dignitaries today, keeping our parade moving. Peter is joined by his wife Kathy. Thank you so much. And here comes the Lion Project New Hope Northwest, which provides family camps and retreats for free, no cost to servicemen and women and their families so they can discover and encourage healing for wartime stresses caused by combat, multiple deployments, and some military operations. All veterans, active duty, separated from service, and retired are encouraged to participate in a relaxed environment to learn how stress affects our lives, to those of ourselves and those we love and the people around us. Here comes Miss Auburn 2019, Amanda Enns. She's a student at PLU studying business with a concentration on marketing. Amanda placed top 10 at Miss Washington and loves her job serving the Auburn community. Excellent job, Amanda. Here comes Tri-West Healthcare Alliance. Tri-West Healthcare Alliance is a proud sponsor of Auburn's Veterans Parade with the 4th consecutive year they've been here. We're honored and privileged to work alongside the Veterans Affairs to support veterans through their work with the Veterans Affairs Community Care Program. They thank their veterans for their service and sacrifice. A big thanks to Tri-West Healthcare Alliance for their continued support of veterans and the Auburn Parade. And coming down the parade route in style with a 1967 Kaiser M715 weapons carrier is our own Kirby Wilbur and John Carlson from Talk Radio 570 KBI. This vehicle is owned and operated by Kirk Skaggs. This vehicle was used throughout the Vietnam conflict and afterwards. It continues to serve by helping our U.S. military history alive. You can listen to John Carlson weekday mornings 5 to 9 a.m. and catch Kirby Wilbur on your drive home weekday afternoons 3 to 6 on America's first conservative talk station, Talk Radio 570 KBI. Unapologetically patriotic.
And we might have some familiar faces coming up. Do you recognize these kids?
Oh, look at here comes Elisa Jaffe. And what's your dog's name?
Gidget.
Gidget, the dog. Looks very patriotic today. Yes. Here comes the carrier presented by PBY Naval Air Museum in Oak Harbor on beautiful Whidbey Island. You're looking at a 21-foot replica of the Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. The overall length of these carriers is almost 1,000 feet or 3 football fields. 10 of these carriers are currently serving our country on stations at sea around the world. Aboard the carriers, Como News Radio's afternoon anchor, Elisa Jaffe, we just saw her, and Gidget. Midday anchor, Taylor Van Sice, and reporters Carlene Johnson and Eric Heinz. Stay connected, stay informed with traffic and weather on the 4s. Como News Radio 1000, FM 97.7, your Husky station, your Husky Nation. Huskies? Is that a team? Just kidding. Como and KBI consider it an honor and privilege to be here today. Our next entry is the Peninsula High School Seahawk Marching Band from Gig Harbor. The band is under the direction of Megan Webster. Let's take a listen. Sounding great. Don't you ever wish a marching band would just show up at your house one day? Up next is the Auburn Police Department Honor Guard. These officers consider it an honor and privilege to represent the Auburn Police Department and say thank you to all veterans, past and present. Thank you to our veterans and their families for service and sacrifices from the Auburn Police Department. And you're also looking at more of the brave officers from our Auburn Police Department. The police department employs several veterans amongst their ranks. Today, the Auburn Police Department wishes to honor its PD veterans along with all the veterans who have served, as well as our active military members who continue to serve our nation. Woof, woof! I tell you, dogs love a parade. That's an impressive ride. When you show up with something that says SWAT on the side, they take you seriously. They know you mean business. You're looking at now the Auburn dedicated and honorable Auburn Police Department volunteers. The Auburn PD Volunteers program began in 1992. Volunteers assist officers by going on citizen patrols, attending community events, and helping with fingerprinting citizens. They also staff the Lee Hill substation and provide support to other members of the department. So far this year, the volunteers have worked over 4,000 hours of volunteer service and patrolled over 8,300 miles. Thank you so much for helping out.
And here come some of the veterans and military members from the Port of Seattle. There are over 280 Guard, Reserve, or Veteran status employees. This diverse group of employees represents roughly 16% of the Port. Military and Veterans at the Port is an employee resource group that exists to provide a community network for military, veteran, and sport employees and directly supports the Port's diversity and development strategy. Everybody in the boat. Up next, from the Muckleshoot Indian Tribe is the Muckleshoot Indian Tribe's Powwow Royalty. Thanks for joining us today.
They're in the canoe.
Coming up next, the USO Northwest, the United Service Organization, or USO, originally formed in 1941 at the beginning of World War II with the purpose of supporting America's military. In our area, USO Northwest has supported America's military members and their families since 1966 by keeping them connected to family, home, and country throughout their service to our nation. USO Northwest volunteers are found at 4 physical centers and 1 mobile event program serving almost 1 million people in 2019. Great group here. Here comes the Puget Sound Honor Flight. Do you know what this amazing organization does? They take World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam War veterans on a trip to Washington, D.C., taking them to the memorials that were built in their honor. What a great organization. Veterans, if this is something that sounds interesting to you, we encourage you to contact the Puget Sound Honor Flight for more details. Riding along today, World War II veteran Mr. Gene Otis, United States Army Air Corps, who was born and raised here in Auburn. Korean War veteran Mr. Dick Maury, United States Navy and Vietnam veteran Lieutenant William Hall, United States Navy, who completed 4 tours in Vietnam. We thank them all for their service. Across the sound, here comes the Bainbridge High School Spartan Marching Band. The Bainbridge Band family extends a big thank you to the City of Auburn and our veterans on this fine holiday weekend. community-based centers offering a wide range of services to veterans and their families, 8 in Washington State. Staff at the vet centers provide confidential counseling and services to veterans, service members, and their families. So for more information, they do have a website. You can see it on the side right there, www.vetcenter.va.gov.
And here comes the Wounded Warrior Project. The organization connects, serves, and empowers post 9/11 veterans through numerous programs so they can integrate back into society under their own terms. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. Here come the Puyallup tribal veterans, proudly march in honor of all veterans, especially those of the Puyallup tribe. They've served in all major wars, as well as conflicts and police actions. They attend powwows and present colors at various events. They participate in other Native American veterans activities as well. And go Seahawks. Here come some folks that do some incredible work. The American Red Cross, a nonprofit humanitarian organization that provides relief to those affected by disasters, helps people across the nation prepare for and respond to emergencies. You never know, something could happen tomorrow and these people could be at your house helping you. They're incredible what they do. Residents in Washington are supported by more than 3,000 volunteers who mobilize relief to families affected by disasters and provide training in life-saving first aid, CPR, and disaster preparedness skills. The Red Cross also reconnects families separated by international armed conflicts and disasters. Thank you so much, Red Cross, for all you do. And let's welcome the Washington High School Air Force Junior ROTC Patriot Squadron. Here they come. These cadets are 9th through 12th graders who have devoted themselves to becoming citizens of serving their community and nation. This past year, the Patriot Squadron earned the Distinguished Unit and Merit Award. This places them in the top 12% of Air Force Junior ROTC units worldwide. Great job. And there's a lot of them. I think you can hear them. The Cedar Crest High School Band and Color Guard coming our way. They're from Duval, Washington. Their program includes the marching ensemble, several concert and jazz ensembles, and percussion ensemble. And our Color Guard, you can see right there up front. The band is excited to be performing today and will like to salute veterans and active duty personnel. Veterans for Peace honors our country's veterans and active military personnel by working to restrain our government from intervening in the internal affairs of other nations and by working to abolish war as an instrument of national policy so that no soldier will ever have to place his or her life in jeopardy for an unjust cause. And we want you to pay especially close attention to what's coming next. Carrying this 20-foot by 30-foot United States flag is the National Alliance to End Veteran Suicide. The flag is in a memorial position to recognize the 20 to 22 veterans that take their lives every single day. driving the vintage vehicles, veterans as noted by the sign on the doors. Their focus are areas of education, resources, research, and community. You need not be a veteran to make a difference, and we invite everyone to become a volunteer. You can go to their website and learn more. Very important cause. It isn't a parade unless you see at least one rumble seat. All parades must include, by law, one rumble seat. And here come the Minority Veterans of America. First-time parade participants, welcome! Minority Veterans of America recognizing women veterans and their families. And also the Todd Beamer High School Air Force Junior ROTC is the high school's 51st Titan Squadron out of Federal Way, one of the Air Force's top junior ROTC units in the country. Its awards include the Distinguished Unit Award of Merit, the Outstanding Organization Award, and the Silver Star Community Service with Excellence Award. The group is commanded by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Sinjin Kim, and a great job looking sharp today. And here come the Tulalip veterans. What a great float today. Thank you for being here. These veterans here representing the Tulalip tribe, we are honored to have you. Here comes the Grants Pass Marching Band and Color Guard from Grants Pass. That's a long drive. Oh my goodness. The band and guard are excited to be part of the 2019 Veterans Parade. The students are excited to share their fall production called Over Under. Please join us tonight at the Auburn Memorial Stadium for the field show competition. Looking great. Boy, they got some great hats. What's most impressive about the Grants Pass Marching Band, they don't have a bus. They actually marched here. Can you believe that? They're incredible. I'm going to eyeball these next rides, so I'm going to let Lee describe them to you.
All right, here we go. Always a fan favorite, the Puget Sound Military Vehicle Collectors Club. I can talk over them. They're not as loud as the motorcycles. They were founded in 1973, dedicated to the restoration, preservation, history, public education, and display of military vehicles and related equipment in honor of past, present, and future veterans of the United States of America. These vehicles are privately owned and maintained, and their members are proud to be honoring those who have served. Thank you to members of this organization for sharing their vehicles with us today, ladies and gentlemen. The Puget Sound Military Vehicle Collectors Club. Really impressed with the tires. Look at those.
I'll tell you one thing, getting a ride like that beats Uber.
And for those of you who can't see, this is Chief Petty Officer Larry Smith, United States Navy, getting a very special ride. And a standing ovation here at the grandstand. Up next, the Bethel High School's Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. This is a 130-member strong unit from Spanaway with a mission to develop citizens of character, winners of the Outstanding Unit Award with merit for 10 consecutive years. Bethel cadets have accumulated over 1,200 community service hours so far. Marching today are members of their armed, unarmed, and color guard teams. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bethel High School's 62nd Braves Squadron. And all the way from Wenatchee, the Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band and Color Guard, the winning marching band. This dynamic group takes great pride in promoting positive school spirit and unity at athletic events and competitions throughout Washington. Shake it out. Love the purple and gold, right, Darren? Exactly.
Yeah.
Coming up next, the United States Volunteers Joint Service Command 101st Brigade Coordination Team of Washington. They're a veterans organization that provides military burial honors to honor those who have served. The 101st Brigade Coordination Team, 10th Regional Command, is commanded by Colonel Ben Tran. Every first Tuesday of the month, 101st conducts final military honors at Tahoma National Cemetery. And up next, the Great War historians remember and honor those from all nations who fought and sacrificed in World War I. And going back in time a little bit more, history comes alive. The 2nd Connecticut Regiment of Militia is a family-oriented historical reenacting group that studies the American Revolution and life in the 18th century. Honored to participate today and thanking veterans for our active military personnel. And while I have a second, here comes the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association. That's all I'm gonna get in. now at Friends of Willie and Joe, an award-winning and well-known historical and educational living history. The group is dedicated to preserving the memory of our military personnel who served in World War II. Friends of Willie and Joe is a group of collectors and amateur historians who attend parades, air shows, and veterans events to educate the public about the uniforms, arms, equipment, and vehicles used in World War II. Up now, you see the 52nd Eagle Squadron from Federal Way High School. The squadron is in its 15th year and has proudly participated in the Auburn Veterans Parade each of those 15 years. Welcome back. The unit was recognized this past year as a distinguished unit by Headquarters Air Force Junior ROTC. Today, the 52nd Eagle Squadron, commanded by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Patricia Kimball. Just keep your eyes on the route. We've got some pretty impressive equipment coming. Right now, the Pacific Northwest Steel Soldiers is a group dedicated to the preservation of historic military vehicles. Yeah, that's cool. They keep the memory alive of the service and sacrifice of our troops in various wars and conflicts over the last 100 years. And the award for tallest participant, here comes the Northwest chapter of the Game Wardens Association, a brotherhood made up mostly of local combat veterans who served in the Brownwater Navy Task Force of 116. This Navy unit was originally developed during the Vietnam War. It has continued to support today's Rivery Naval units called up after September 11th of 2001. These sailors were the most highly decorated of all naval units of the Vietnam War. And for you today is a 32-foot Mark II PBR Patrol Boat River, which was manufactured in Bellingham, the same boat many of these men served on. Aboard the boat today are old river rats, joined by active river rats from Bangor Base.
Up next are the Buffalo Soldiers of Seattle, a nonprofit organization focused on high-quality programs benefiting the Pacific Northwest, such as hosting camps, cadet education forums, appearances at schools and museums, and participation in historical events. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the Buffalo Soldiers, looking sharp as always. That's great. Thank you for being here. And thank you for all the work you do. It isn't too often that you get to hear the crack of a whip, like a real one. Here are the soldiers and civilians of Company C, 4th Infantry Regiment, who garrisoned at Fort Steilacoom, Washington Territory from 1853 to the start of the Civil War in 1861. These members come from all over the Pacific Northwest to put on living history demonstrations and Civil War battle reenactments. Fort Steilacoom Museum and tours are open the first Sunday of each month from 1 to 4. Very impressive. And coming up next is a group that does a lot of incredible work. It's the Civil Air Patrol, congressionally chartered 75 years ago. The all-volunteer Civil Air Patrol, auxiliary to the United States Air Force, operates a fleet of 550 aircraft and is credited with saving an average of 70 lives every year. Civil Air Patrol's 58,000 members also play a leading role in aerospace education and serve as mentors to more than 24,000 young people currently participating in the cadet program. If you're interested in learning more, drop by the CAP booth within the static display area, so they'll be able to talk to you and get you signed up. I love that sound, marching our way. Next we have the sons and daughters of the American Revolution. These marchers have traced their family tree back to family members who fought or supported the American Revolution. They're marching today representing families of the first veterans when on July 4th, 1776, we became the United States of America. Member of the members are veterans themselves as well. And up next is the Daughters of the American Revolution, Lakota Chapter. This is a women's service organization founded in 1891. Members have proven lineal descent from a person who served in the American Revolution or provided aid to the colonies during the American Revolution. Thank you, ladies, for all your work. And I'm very glad it's not raining right now because you look amazing. Coming up, the JBLM Military Jeepers is a chapter of the nationally recognized Military Jeepers for active and retired veterans of the armed forces. The club is comprised of veterans and active military servicemen and women, and they've got amazing rides. And I will say this, as a Jeep owner myself, if you guys ever want to take me for a ride, if you're ever going on a trail somewhere, pick me up. Lee thinks that Jeeps look better with dirt. I agree. Looking sharp. You know, I got the Jeep in my garage at home right now. It's what, November? It has dirt on it from Eastern Oregon in May. That's how you know you love Jeeps. Very sharp looking guys and gals. I think I've owned a Jeep since I owned a driver's license of some sort. Some in better repairs than other. If your Jeep doesn't break, you're not using it. That's the rule. If you are a real Jeeper and your Jeep breaks, you're not unhappy. No. Very nice. One of the great things about this parade every year is that we have so many marching bands, and one of the reasons is there's a big marching band competition right after the parade. So even though the parade might be done, there's a whole, if you love this kind of music, and who doesn't, because it just sort of gets you right in the chest, you can take in hours of it as they compete to see who wins the top honors. And coming up right now is the Sumner High School Marching Band, proud to represent our school and the cities of Sumner and Bonnie Lake in the 2019 Auburn Veterans Parade. This group has performed coast to coast, and in 2020 these students will be performing, get this, at the Honolulu Festival of Bands Parade in Hawaii. Ladies and gentlemen, take a listen and a look at the Sumner High School Spartan Marching Band. Great. Hey, here comes the Green River Community College Green River Gators. Give them a big Gator welcome. Green River College is proud to be made up of veterans representing the Vietnam War, First Gulf War, Afghanistan and Iraq Wars, family members and Guard reservists. Green River College is committed to the success of their student veterans and their families and strives to be one of the most veteran-supportive campuses in the entire country. Here come the Minions of Chaos. The club was started from a military safety chorus and was established in April of 2011. Club is considered to be as a DoD motorcycle club and the only club that is allowed to wear their vest at military installations. The club is comprised of mostly active military members and veterans, but also has a few civilian members. Great job, Minions! Can never get enough of that sound. Here comes the Brother in Arms Motorcycle Club. It's a non-profit organization comprised of active duty, retired, and honorably discharged veterans from all 5 branches of the military. Their mission is to support active duty service members, veterans and families, and their community. Their other job is to make a whole lot of noise. You know what? That's the other sound of freedom. There it is. The Valley City's veteran team provides behavioral health services to veterans and their family members in Auburn and throughout King County under the voter-approved Veterans, Seniors, and Human Services Levy. They also assist veterans with housing, lost DD 214s, assessing health care through the VA, upgrading discharges and other benefits. Valley City's recently formed a partnership with the Cohen Veterans Network in Lakewood to provide high-quality mental health care services accessibility to all post-9/11 veterans. Let's say hello to the Employment Security Department, WorkSource Auburn. Their mission is to connect businesses and job seekers, including veterans, with the necessary resources and tools for successful employment, lifelong learning, and business development to ensure a strong and vital economy. Thank you so much for being here and all you do. That sound you're hearing, here comes the Kennedy Catholic High School Lancer Marching Band from Burien. Kennedy Catholic has a long tradition of participation in Auburn's Veterans Parade. This year, drum majors are Jonathan Gulbrick and Kenneth Hirschberger. The color guard is under the direction of Miss Andrea Filer and Miss Shauna Arias. The band director is Mr. Daniel Reuter. And here they come. Red, white, and blue.
next, the Auburn Fraternal Order of Eagles. Riding in the first pickup is the Washington State Worthy President Jim Holmes and State Madam President Joanne Schultz. The City of Auburn would like to thank the Auburn Eagles for their continued support in this event. Up next, the Auburn Sons of Italy Lodge 1955 was founded in 1947. The lodge has participated in the Auburn Veterans Day Parade for over 40 years. Among our members are veterans of World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, Desert Storm, Balkan Service, Afghanistan, Operation Iraqi Freedom, the United States Peacetime Military Service, as well as veterans of the NATO forces of Italy. Some members share membership with the Auburn American Legion and VFW and AMVETS. So thank you, Auburn Sons of Italy Lodge. And a dog. Oh, I'm so happy. Up next, let's say hello to Auburn's King Solomon Masonic family. Freemasons are the oldest fraternity in the world, and Auburn's King Solomon Lodge has been in Auburn since 1890. Their building, situated on the corner of Main and Auburn Way, has been there since 1924. They've been supporting Auburn for the last 125 years. Up now, the Auburn Knights of Columbus, honored to pay tribute to our veterans today.
If you have a sharp eye, you can also see an early appearance of Santa Claus.
And in a fitting ride, say hello to the Auburn School District's Transportation Department. They consider it an honor to participate in today's parade and want to give a special thanks to our veterans for their service to our country. Now looking at District 751 Aerospace Machinists Union Veterans Committee. They are a newly formed committee of the U.S. military veterans who are members of the Machinists Union. Most of these veterans are now building the military hardware they once operated while serving the United States in their particular branch in the military. Well done, veterans. Thank you for your service. We have 25 bands participating today, and the next one from Spokane. Time to say hello to the East Valley High School Marching Band, an all-volunteer force. They come together from East Valley's concert band, jazz band, wind ensemble, and percussion class for the ensemble you see here today. Thanks for coming all the way. Might be running out to get a closer look at this one. Take a look. This is the Wheels of Boom Car Club. That is an impressive truck. They have 7 veterans in their group, and their club gives back to the community through various events and fundraisers. Very nice looking vehicles. No surprise, this is a pretty large entry. It goes back a little bit farther and a little bit farther. This is what Theron wanted video of.
That's a sharp convertible right there. I'm an animal. Wow, no one's ever said that to me before. Wow. Talk about a lot of sports going on in Seattle, like just in our hearts and in our city. We got the massive match tomorrow, and then Monday the Hawks play. Oh, those 49ers, they're not doing very well this year, I heard. Yeah, those 49ers, I heard they're having a tough time of it. Where this group goes, they don't need roads. It isn't just enough to have a DeLorean. You've also got to have a DeLorean trailer. It's a good thing we have a speed limit in this parade. That's impressive. Coming up next is McGregor's own Scots Guard, which was formed in 1996. They have been posting colors at Scottish Highland Games and festivals throughout the area, and were the first honor guard in the Seattle Seahawks in their new stadium. Thank you so much. Here comes some impressive metal here. Solid Rock Crusaders Christian Car Club, their family-based club open to anyone regardless of age or gender, with an interest in classic cars and trucks. Classic car ownership is not required. You can just oogle at anybody else's car. All you need is your interest in classic cars. Big thank you to all the veterans from them, and just thank you so much for bringing that out. And I also appreciate that 56 Chevy, or 55 Chevy. There you go, got the thumbs up on it. 55 Chevy with the top down. I don't know if that's an endorsement of my forecast. But yeah, there you go. Beautiful cars. And let me tell you, as someone who's owned a few classic cars, knowing that they're going to run any particular day, it's a lot of work. Nothing sounds like a V8. It just doesn't. I know there's a lot of people who do like the turbocharged, like the pocket racing type cars. Yeah, nothing sounds like that. No matter how many turbochargers you got on there. No replacement for displacement. No, I have yet to hear a Prius sound like that come down the line here. There you go. Here comes the first parade participants, a first-time parade participant, Brotherhood United Motorcycle Association, a veteran-based organization focusing on the veteran community and their local communities. This is a group of proud veterans who have either served or are serving, and all this while never forgetting POW and MIAs everywhere. Here comes an automotive beauty pageant. We're going to welcome the Classical Glass Corvette Club. The club has many members who are veterans, and they're honored to celebrate their service to their country. And one after another, beautiful Corvettes.
So unlike the Jeeps, you want these guys polished up.
Corvettes do look the best when they're shiny. They're breaking the visual speed limit. They look like they're going fast even when they're just rolling right along. Also with the Tacoma Corvette Club. They have many veterans within their ranks. Look forward to this event every year. Very slick. That's a work of art right there. Okay, here comes the Tacoma Corvette Club as well. One Corvette after another. That's a great Saturday afternoon, isn't it? You know, when I was in college 1,000 years ago. I drove a Chevette. But my friends, I had this buddy, and we'd be someplace, and we'd be wanting to go somewhere, and just knowing that people would overhear us, I'd say, yeah, we should probably head out of here. Let's take the vet. But it was a Chevette. And we did shove it a few times because it wasn't all that reliable. My T-top was a Trans Am. Here it comes, you can hear them. You're hearing and you're about to see the Thomas Jefferson High School Raider Band from Federal Way. They serve their community through more than 20 athletic and community events every year. Turn the page. They were proud to return to the Auburn Veterans Parade to honor the men and women who defend our country at home and abroad. Thank you, veterans from the Thomas Jefferson High School Marching Raider Band. Let's say hello to Cub Scout Pack 478 from Auburn. The pack is proud to honor its veterans. One of the skills these youth learn is about what it means to be a good citizen. Here, these youth are demonstrating how to show respect and honor to those who have served our country. Well done, Pack 478. Also, Cub Scout Pack 432 from the Lakeland Hills area of Auburn. A big thank you for being here today. I think I see somebody I know on that float. Charlie Harder from Como Radio. We have celebrities everywhere around here. Big names. A big contingent marching our way, the Scouting Area Committee from Joint Base Lewis McChord. These scouts have a family member currently serving in our United States military at JBLM. Special thanks to all our active military members who are currently serving in the armed forces. More than 20 Girl Scout troops are part of the Auburn community, and here they come now. The girls range from kindergartners up to seniors in high school. Girl Scouts building girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. Great job, Girl Scouts. Two questions that I bet Girl Scouts get all the time. One, what are you doing in Girl Scouts right now? You're earning a badge or something. And is it too late for cookies? I bet they get that question all the time. She says yes. They're already taking orders. Wow. 17 boxes of Samoas, please.
Great Jacobo.
It's time to say hello to the Joint Base Lewis McChord Girl Scouts. All of these girls are children of service members stationed at Joint Base Lewis McChord. Great job, girls. A giant dog is coming down the road here. If you haven't seen a large dog recently, yeah, someone just said, holy smokes. Welcome veterans and their service dogs with All American Assistance Dogs, the only service dog provider in the region that pairs, provides, and trains service dogs for veterans at virtually no charge. AAA Dogs, based here in Auburn and Federal Way, is proud to serve Puget Sound veterans and to share their success with you today. They have a booth within the static display area. Stop by, say hello, and that's a large dog. A Saint Berdoodle. That dog, in case you're wondering, that big Saint Berdoodle. This group can't sneak by you. The Evergreen A's Model A Club of America. The club has over 150 members and more than 200 Model A Fords as part of the group. Thanks for being here today. Ahooga! That's the friendliest honk you'll ever get from a car. You can hear them coming. The Royal High School marching knights under the direction of Eric Meetencourt. The Marching Knights from Royal City, Washington have participated in many events throughout the Northwest, earning numerous awards. The Marching Knights from clear across the mountains, we're so glad to have you here today. Not to be outdone by the Corvettes, let's say hello to Western Washington's Modern Camaro Club. The club is proud to honor our nation's veterans. Our country's greatness is built on the foundation of your courage and sacrifice. The club consists of many vets from several of our military branches, as well as active duty members. Thank you so much for your service. These are some pretty incredible Camaros. One of the great things about a Camaro is you get all the aesthetics and maybe more of a Corvette, but you also get a better seat. A non-profit organization of men and women, both veterans and civilians, who come together to promote motorcycle safety, education, and public awareness. They also make a little bit of noise. The group is proud to take tribute to our nation's Next, in some classic vehicles, Jim's Veterans, a group of veterans and supporters who appreciate those who have served and those who are currently serving in our great country. Here comes the Indian Motorcycle Riders of Auburn, who are grateful to participate in the event. They'd like to thank veterans and those who are currently serving.
And with the best name in the parade, coming now, the Old Coots on Scoots, Chapter 50 of Edgewood. This is a nonprofit group of motorcycle enthusiasts who love to give back to their surrounding community by volunteering and doing charitable donation work. And just behind them, the Gallopin' Gertie Model A Club. Model A's were produced by Ford between 1928 through the end of 1931. They were inexpensive and popular. Many are restored and driving today. Now, these cars only have 3 gears, and drivers have to double clutch to downshift. Model A's have mechanical brakes and a 40 horsepower engine. There are numerous body styles and colors, but the fenders were always black. Little bit of trivia. The group loves showing off their cars. They are honored to support our veterans today in this parade. Getting towards the end here. Coming up, some more fancy hats. Let's say hello to the Sultan High School Marching Band, who's under the direction of Jill Sumter and Rosalind Santerre. The band is the pride of the Skykomish Valley, and they're honored to be here today. Can you believe it? We're at the end. But last And not least, please welcome the Valley Regional Fire Authority, your local fire department, providing fire, emergency, medical, and rescue services to the communities of Algona, Auburn, and Pacific. Driving the Bronco is the chief of the VRFA, Brent Swearingen. The VRFA has over 100 firefighters, EMTs working out of 5 fire stations. Firefighters are driving their ladder truck for today's parade. The Valley Regional Fire Authority would like to thank our veterans and our active military personnel. Great way to end what is now the largest parade of its kind west of the Mississippi. Incredible turnout. Great big thank you to all of the parade participants. Thank you for staying all the way until the end of it. The City of Auburn, so pleased to have all of you here today, not in the rain, supporting our veterans and our troops. Happy 54th anniversary of this parade to the City of Auburn. The City of Auburn would like to give special thanks to a very long list of folks who contribute to this event. The public affairs offices of each branch of the military for organizing their participation. A big thank you to the Seattle Seafair Parade Marshals for organizing the parade assembly area, and to the amateur ham radio volunteers for parade communication and support. And a shout out to Auburn Chevrolet, Auburn Volkswagen, Dachshund Toyota, Hinshaw's Honda, Valley Buick GMC, and Wayscar Ford for graciously providing parade vehicles for all of the dignitaries.
The Auburn Noon Lions are also providing parade drivers, and we thank them for our dignitaries, and they also sponsored the luncheon. The American Legion, we're going to thank them as well. Auburn Post 78 for offering a public breakfast right before the parade. A big thank you and a warm-up thank you to the American Legion, Auburn Post 78, the Inter-Tribe Warrior Society, and the Muckleshoot Indian Tribe for supporting the remembrance ceremony. The Auburn High School Marching Band Program for coordinating the Veterans Day Marching Band Competition. The Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs for hosting their Outstanding Veterans of the Year presentation in conjunction with the luncheon. And the City of Auburn Parks, Arts and Recreation, Police, Streets, and Multimedia Departments, and the Valley Regional Fire Authority for supporting this event and being out here to keep us all safe and everything in order. Special thanks to the Muckleshoot Casino and Tri-West Healthcare Alliance for sponsoring the event. Please visit those sponsors in the static display area. And of course, a thank you to us, to ourselves. Well, this apparently goes out to Como for Como News Radio, Talk Radio, Radio 570 KVI, who are also over there.
Look forward to seeing you back here next year, November 7th, 2020. Visit the city's website, www.auburnwa.gov/Vets Day for parade awards. Go Sounders!
Go Sounders!
Why not?